another signing. Maybe not the one as long as we had hoped for, but I think that's coming. Talking about Nolan Arenado and, of course, his arbitration hearing. Talk to us a little bit about that process and how that went, Luke.
Yeah, well, he got $26 million. He set a record with that deal, but no one wants to talk about that. Everyone's talking about the big deal, the big picture.
Yeah.
You know, Dick Monfort came out and said that we're getting to the crescendo. We're in the finale. That's what he said. So he's hinting that we're getting close to signing Nolan long term. He says Nolan wants to stay. So we'll see what happens. I don't think he'd come out and say that if it wasn't true.
Yeah.
He wouldn't come out and say that if he wasn't willing to make the commitment to Nolan long term. If he can pull that off, if Jeff Bridich and the ownership can pull that deal off, we may be looking at a good team for a long time, having him and Story and the young pitching that we've got, and then other young guys like David Dahl and Brendan Rodgers. If we can lock up Nolan, we could be a good team for a long time in the future.
Yeah, we'll see. Speaking of Dick Monfort, there was an event that was held here in northern Colorado, the Friends of Baseball. I was able to attend, and he was given the rundown of it. He said, look, DJ LeMahieu's going to be missed, but the next step that we have to do is we've got to get this guy, this third baseman, locked up. And one thing that I found funny, Ben, we talked about this. There was a post that came out or something. It was one with you guys that said the Yankees just suffered a big loss, right?
Yeah,
I mean, where is that coming from?
It's amazing what we learned from this is how many teams thought they were going to sign Nolan Arenado after next season. We saw a thing that said it looks like next year's free agent will be signed before this year's free agents.
Yeah,
because
Bryce Harper and Manny Machado
they're still out there. But yeah, the Yankees talked about how if the Rockies signed, it's a big loss for them. So did the Texas Rangers. So did the Los Angeles Dodgers. All these teams believed in their heart of hearts that they were going to have a chance to sign Nolan Arenado next season, because no one gives Colorado the benefit of the doubt when it comes to keeping players around long term.
Yeah, and with the arbitration that took place, everyone wants to dive into the exact details. Well, the Rockies offered him $24 million. He countered with $30. They settled on $26. I figured it would have been right around that $27 million mark. But with what that guy brings in for the Colorado Rockies, I never thought it was a doubt that Dick Monfort was going to pay for that, especially the way he's been changing his spending habits a little bit. The Rockies have been making some big signings, so Nolan will be here for at least one more year. If this thing lingers, how worried do you get if you're a Rockies fan? If he's not signed by opening day, are you worried?
No, it took past opening day for us to sign Charlie Blackmon. It was the exact same situation last season.
Yep.
We settled arbitration with Blackmon ahead of spring training, and then once the season started, it was in a few games. It was within that opening week or two that we finally announced the big deal with Charlie, where we got him locked up for 6 years. So I wouldn't be shocked if it's after the All-Star break and we're struggling. That's where you start to hear the trade rumors start to fly around. But if the season starts and he's not locked up, I'm not worried.
Yeah, well, they've got a couple of months to do it. How about you, Ben? Still same thing? You're good with just that one more year? Give you rest a little bit easier at night?
Well, I would rest a lot easier at night if they did sign him to, say, a 10-year, $300 million contract today. That would make me feel really good about myself, or not about myself, but about the situation. It takes a lot more to make me feel good
I was gonna say that's a conversation for another time.
And for someone else. But anyway, I think that I'm with you. If it gets to the trade deadline and he hasn't signed that extension, which is possible, that's when other teams might start getting in the, hey, we'll give you this and this for Nolan. And obviously that happens every year with the Rockies because no one thinks that we're a farm team, essentially, for other teams, they feel like.
Well, that's kind of what they've proven. I mean, we're starting to
Yankees
take
are.
the next step.
Yep.
But a couple of Rockies that will be missed that obviously went to the Yankees, and Adam Ottavino and DJ LeMahieu. So the Rockies take that next step to getting their superstar third baseman locked up. Can they continue it? Can they go get this thing done? We'll find out. The first step's done. They got 1 year down, at least one more, with Nolan Arenado.